Yo, what's good, everybody? Um, I'm just fucking around with some settings here real quick, so just give me a second, so I can. Ariel. I have to start a private chat with this girl named Ariel who's never online because they don't let you start a party by yourself anymore. So make sure none of the other players' audio gets put in there. But I also got to turn on this camera because I don't know why it's not on. So I want to futz around with that real quick. Let's see, devices, PlayStation camera. Oh, maybe it's like live settings or something. Sharing and broadcast. So, settings. There we go. All right, so let's see what that video is looking like here. I want to mess around with my camera. I've never played around with this before, so. So yeah, just give me a second. I want to kind of fuck with this. Okay. This is crazy. Alrighty. Don't want the camera to fall. So, alrighty. There we go. I can't bring it any closer to me, or else the whole thing will just fall apart. It's like wired into the into the PlayStation. But all right, so we're gonna play some GTA today. I wish I had like a light pointing at me. Ooh, I'll take $100,000. Thank you. Shout out to Amazon Prime for that one. If you are on Amazon Prime, they just give you free money in this game. It's pretty dope. So, let's see here. Turn the sound down a little bit because I don't want it to bleed through my mic. But yeah, look, y'all, I'm just gaming, talking about nothing. This is Saturday loose talk about bullshit. So it is what it is. We can talk about whatever, y'all. I can kind of tell y'all a little bit since we got some folks watching. Tell y'all a little bit about what we got coming up on the podcast. um, yeah, I have a really dope. I should have a dope show coming up. Obviously, with my friend who is a matchmaker. So she's a matchmaker. She's been in the biz for a few years. She's cool. I fucks with her. And we're gonna talk about some just general dating things. A lot of things people miss. Some things people need to, you know, probably work on, or some things that people shouldn't be doing, men and women, but mostly men, because it's a men's show. We got to get ourselves together, fellas. So it'll be a dope little show there with my friend. And then also I have another show coming up that I'm doing with uh, a young woman named Joelle, who's from Houston, actually. And we're going to be talking about Star Trek. So I love Star Trek. I'm way overdue for sci-fi talk. So what's up, Ryan? But yeah, I'm way, way overdue for, nerd talk, nerd chat, that kind of shit. It's been way too long since I just gamed. Since I just gamed and just, kicked it. So, everybody, this is just a loose, regular talk. Whatever the fuck you want to talk about, we can do that shit. So, I really got to change my spawn location in this game. I keep spawning in my nightclub, and I don't want to spawn in my nightclub. Because I get stuck on loading way too often. But yeah, whatever y'all want to talk about, man, I'm here for it. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was really interesting because this whole modern dating conundrum where they're talking about like women with careers, and I have to be honest, I would prefer to kick it with a chick who had a career. or who was just in the working world, like a professional woman who, I mean, I'm not even gonna say professional woman because for me, my bar is low. My bar is low as fuck. Right now, my bar is just, where's my motorcycle club thing? Let's start a motorcycle club. Uh, Motorcycle club. Okay, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Oh, it's probably maxed out. Anywho, yeah, so my bar is super low when it comes to dating and all that stuff. It isn't like I need like a lawyer or an accountant or some shit like that, which I have dated women in the community who had a lot of those higher positions. For me, I just need somebody who works. Like, do you have a job? That's all I require. I don't care how much money my partner makes, my girlfriend makes, wife makes, because, really the bills is paid like a motherfucker on my end. So what I really want is just somebody who, knows the value of showing up to work every day, and, just works. Like, cause I don't want to feel like I'm a sugar daddy and I'm fucking like, supporting a dependent that I should be claiming on my taxes. So that's what I don't want. So that's why I'm all about like, folks being able to work. But let's see here. Sorry, Ryan, I gotta peep around the camera to read your comment. It says, all right, so your friend that is a matchmaker, does she specialize in matchmaking for relationships? Oh yeah, no. She's only only relationships. Yes, relationships only. She is not here to take part in helping out people hook up. I mean, let's be real. Tinder and Bumble and all the other dating apps have become very successful at doing that. Very successful at getting people hooked up. If hookups was all people was looking for, Grinder, shit, tags, even the Tammy app that I promote sometimes, would be, yeah, not welcome. Ooh, a Batmobile. Yeah, these things have rockets on them, and people just fucking murder me with that shit all the time. Hate it. Hate it. Sorry, personal storage. While I go do that shit. But yeah, so she does for relationships. I cannot tell you personally what her success rate is or how many marriages she's responsible for and all that stuff. I don't keep up with her in that way. I used to attend some of her events. So I attended like a couple of her speed dating events. And I'm sure they're way better now. It's just so what happened was early, and this is like when she was just starting out. Like this is like the first couple of events she ever did. But she was partnering with a friend of ours that he used to play football in the NFL. So basketball player, Bill, really tall, skinny guy, in shape, handsome, wearing nice suits and all that shit. And what it turned into was like these social events where people like would show up to like get to know each other and meet people and all that stuff. But it turned into the same dynamic. The whole dating community really is kind of locked in right now, where it was like 80% of the women in the room were like swooning over this one guy, and the other, all the rest of the dudes were kind of just left to fend for the 20% of women that were just left over. So that was the dynamic in the dating matchmaking events that I went to with my friend, or that my friend organized early in her stage. I don't think she works with that guy anymore, because he was really there to kind of like help host the event and bring people in. But I don't know if he does that anymore with her events. She is based out of Denver. But those matchmakers, they kind of know each other all across the country, and she has friends in New York and friends in other cities that are matchmakers. And she's actually, last time we talked on my show, she was actually just starting to build her national database. So actually, some guys and trans women from who listen to my podcast were trying to get where they were hitting her up to get added to the database. So she does not specialize in LGBTQ dating, but right now there really isn't anybody that specializes across the board. According to her, there are some people that she knows that like she knows a couple matchmakers that specialize in just gay men, but like there's nobody who specializes, matching trans women and cis men together. But the real crazy thing is like a lot of these dating topics, a lot of this stuff, like there are things that like I'll hear different trans women bring up, and it's just like okay, and you just put just a little bit of brain power in there, and you just start to realize that this is like these are themes that are universal to all women. Period. It's not like just trans women. Like there there are plenty of cis women out there being cheated on, lied to, abused, whatever, being devalued. There are lots of things that happen, out there that isn't just happening in the trans community. I mean, obviously you hear people in the trans community complaining about certain things, but that's because it is happening here and everywhere else. But, there's a lot of themes, and it's kind of like that whole 80-20 thing that I had mentioned earlier. Actually, the first time I heard of that concept, it wasn't even 80-20, but I was listening. Jamie Foxx used to have a radio show on satellite radio. And I was listening to his, old satellite show. Sorry, we're going to hear the mechanic voices. I can't turn this off, by the way. It's the controller microphone. I can't shut it down. So, but during his radio show, he was like, yeah, so, a lot of women in...
I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up.
My T20. Where'd I put my T20? Ooh, my T20. So he was just like, yeah,
I'll bring it by. Okay, I got
a lot of women
do.
in LA and in Hollywood land, complaining like, hey, ain't no good men out here, X, Y, and Z, whatever. And he was like, yeah, that it y'all gonna say, women are gonna say there's no good men out here because 95% of the women are going after the top 5% of dudes. And, this is what he was saying. Oh, gosh. It was probably like 2010 he was saying this. Oh, shit. Please don't kill me. I do not want to lose my fucking... I don't want to lose my car today. Special money doesn't grow on trees. They're out of supplies at the... Okay, whatever. But yeah, I mean, but it's funny though because he was saying that was like a problem in Hollywood. But really, it's obviously it's something that's kind of reared its ugly head a little bit in the rest of the world now, thanks to Instagram being born and other things that kind of made the world a little bit smaller. But I do find that really interesting, how that phenomenon has kind of taken over and really skewed the dating scene in general. And this goes past trans, dating trans women. This is just in general with women, period, cis and trans. So, and of course I have absolutely have, brought up the phenomenon of, all the guys going after the Instagram hoe, the chicks that, the OnlyFans girls, pretty much the very visible women, who, let's be real, kind of top of the heap. Like a lot of them those are just straight up legit 9s and 10s. And, I think all of it has to do with maturity, honestly. I really do think a lot of it has to do with maturity. Because I think, guys have to really just realize, like, I think a lot of these guys don't really know what the fuck they're looking for or what they need. And it's just like, once you realize that shit, like, hey, Liberty, thanks for joining me on my little bullshit talk stream. I'm just, by all means, chime in with comments and ideas, y'all. I'm just here talking. But, I just realized that men, like, once they kind of really understand what's really important, a lot of that shit kind of fades. Because I have to be honest, like, the things that a lot of these girls that are like 9s and 10s and all that stuff, and the OnlyFans girls or the Instagram like the model-esque girls, like, there's a lot of things that come with that And there's a lot of attitudes that come with that, you know, notions, ways of thinking that it's just like, here's a lot. I mean, I'm just, it's a lot to deal with. It's just like, I'm not interested in dealing with all that. I want peace in my life. And there's plenty of women out there who are willing to bring nothing but peace and support to your life. And they may not be that legit 10. You know, they may be more like a 7 or a 6, or an adjustable 6 as they call them. But, you know, look, you'll have somebody who likes you for you, and, you know, is going to be supportive of you in all ways, you know, be as faithful to you as you are to them. Like, I'm not saying all super hot chicks are cheaters or nothing like that. I'm just saying, like, you know, what guys really say they want, you know, is just not really what they want. And honestly, a lot of the guys that are like really pining for these like super Instagram baddies is just dudes that, like, I promise you y'all, these motherfuckers will change their tune. These motherfuckers will change their tune once they get one. Because a lot of men, once they get that baddie, and they really figure out there may not be all the substance that they think is going to be there, you know, they'll learn. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, sometimes it's something that you got to experience for yourself. And, you know, I could definitely say I've experienced that, and I'm just like, you know, I'm good. And I guess that experience for me is what really changed my mindset and changed how I looked at the whole situation and what I really needed, what I'm really looking for, and all of that stuff. And it isn't, well, I'm going to settle and whatever. Like, you know, a girl, like, there are women who are pretty, that your everyday girl next door pretty, not the map model-esque and all that. There's plenty of pretty women, beautiful women out there that, you know, are there to support their partners and be good wives, good girlfriends, good whatever to a lot of guys out there that dudes just don't be looking for, and they be stupidly chasing the same girl that, like, literally a whole nother 10,000 dudes are chasing on the internet. So I don't know. I'm not interested in all that. I don't have the energy for that. I got a job. I'm good. Like, I work. I'm busy with work. Busy with this Men Like Us thing that I kind of do on the side. You know, the Facebook group, all that stuff, these events and speaking engagements, all this kind of junk. Like, I'm good. Oh yeah, this is my arcade. Yeah, so if y'all don't know, you play GTA, you can own a lot of businesses and locations and spots and stuff. So this is the arcade that I run. I just kind of just show up to collect my money. But then I took my money out the safe. Now I got to deposit my money in the bank. Because in this game, if you don't deposit your money in the bank, somebody can kill you and take your shit. So, you know, we don't want to, even if it's $5,700, still don't want to lose that money. Shit, these streets is ruthless. You haven't seen me being killed, but yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Liberty. You said, yeah, I do think a lot of trans attracted men go after the celebrity trans women in the community. Well, I would say it's not. I would say the celebrity trans women probably get some of the least amount of play, I would think. And when I say celebrity women, I'm talking about, you know, the Laverne Cox, all the women that you see on TV. And I guess in this space, you know, those celebrity women would be, you know, the really high-end Instagram girls, porn girls, whatever kind of girls that are just highly visible. So, but, you know, I have to be honest, you know, as much as I hate to admit it, this community isn't as large as, it's not too large. So, you know, I can tell you that, you know, there are women that y'all see on TV as representations of the trans community, and they still have to put up with dating men that aren't ready to be open. Like, trans attracted men aren't even, like, they're not even dating trans attracted men all the time, or not attracted, a trans amorous man, a man who's open about his shit. A lot, you know, not all of them are dating men that are open. Some of them are, you know, oh shit. Some of them are dating dudes that are closeted in DL, and you know, that's their business. That's how they handle their shit. Not, I'm not really here to be judged during execution. I'm just really here to shed a reality of the situation. So you know, in this community is not that big. A lot of girls from TV, they interact with a lot of content creators and people I know, and vice versa. And it's just, you know, it's a really small circle here. So, but anywho, I'm sorry. G Mike, what up, G Mike? Thanks for joining me, man. I'm just sitting here chilling, you know. And by all means, y'all, keep commenting, and you know, this is the conversation that I'm happy to let y'all lead and direct or whatever. So, all right, G Mike, I think the issue is, what I heard is people don't fall in love with the person, but the idea of the person. Oh, yes. Now, see, that's another concept that transcends the trans community specifically. And I think, you know, that idea of somebody and all that, like, yo, dude, that's largely, that's what all that shit is expectations. When your expectations are just all the way the fuck off, you know, you're expecting one thing and this person is, you know, something else. It's doom. You're spelling doom for whatever you're trying to start. So, you know, I would say when it comes to a lot of trans attracted men who start interfacing with women in the trans community, I think a lot of them are looking at them like, okay, I don't. There are just some people that might be a little unrealistic, and they might also highly sexualize women in this community as well. So they'll look at the women like, okay, well, I love porn, and you know, all I know about trans women is porn, and you know, at some point, some juncture, I'm looking for you to be this hypersexual being. When you know, a lot of these women are like, wait, oh what? Like, no, I'm just a regular person. I like Harry Potter. I like this. I do this on the weekends. I do karaoke with my friends. Like, fuck you talking about, bro? So, you know, I do think, you know, guys need to, you know, enter this space understanding that trans women are people and they are multifaceted individuals and they all have interests just like we have interests. And, you know, this isn't like some porn star du jour, so to speak, sexual experience market only. So, you know, that's a thing as well. But then, you know, we talked about this no, we didn't talk about this last time, but this comes up once in a while as well with the idea of the person as well. You know, sometimes people get an idea like, okay, well, from the woman side of things, it's, you know, let's be real. We've all heard of women trying to change men into something that they aren't. But, you know, a lot of men in this space will approach women in the trans community and trying to change them into something that they aren't either. So, you know, it is, you know, you gotta kind of take people for who they are and take them at face value. They'll be trying to change folks and trying to like, oh, well, I see you going to be this, and this. Like, people will be whatever the hell they want to be, and if they want it for themselves, they'll get it. And if they don't, don't matter how much pushing you do, they'll never be that. So, oh shit. She said, sorry, Liberty said, I don't know why, but I feel more comfortable with trans attracted men. I don't like being a cis man's first T girl. It feels weird. I mean, I get you on that. And this whole, you know, first timer thing is kind of a conundrum where it's like a lot of people have experienced this where they apply for a job and they're like, oh, well, this is an entry level job, but we need you to have this amount of experience. And it's like, but how am I going to get the experience if I don't get the job? Like, how does that even work? So then we kind of find ourselves in this weird space, you know, where guys can't get that experience that they need, but then, you know, women don't want to take them without experience. And I'm not saying women have to take first timers or anything like that. It's not what Chris is saying. I'm just saying we kind of run into this, you know, tough spot right here. It's kind of like a chicken or the egg conversation a little bit. I don't want to lose this man's comment. What's up, Roland? Thanks for joining us, man, or joining me and everybody else in the chat. Says people thought that I was a body, but I'm sorry. People thought that I was a bodybuilder when I used to lift in college. I felt like a top 5%. Unfortunately, I couldn't respond to a hot, I'm assuming, trans woman. Well, you know, yeah, I mean, I don't know, Chris. LOL. They just don't know the lingo. You know, it just feels awkward. You're right. You're right. And Roland, I'm gonna come back to you. But yeah, you're right. No, that's totally, and that's why, you know, by all means, send them to these fucking YouTube videos. Help these brothers get some knowledge. Like, you know, maybe it is time for me just to do a straight up old school, like, one-on-one. Like, here's the lingo, here's the terminology, here's words you do use, here's words you don't use. We kind of did that in the beginning of the podcast with the first episode when we did like the 101s and the 102s and that kind of stuff. But, you know, at this point, there are resources out there. Men have the entire internet at their fingertips. So at this point, there is no excuse. So I feel you on that. And, you know, that's hopefully, you know, guys can get the knowledge that they need. So when, even though they are first timers, you know, they could, you know, help out. Or not help out, but they could, you know, come at you in a way that's respectful and not make you feel weird, not make the situation weird. You know, knowledge is power. Roland. All right, yeah. So Roland, bodybuilder, top 5%. He says I couldn't do anything with her because I felt that she would be okay with me seeing her and seeing cis women, but I felt like that cis women would, I'm assuming, judge you for it, which is the thing. A lot of guys fucking like lie about that shit. So yeah, you're right. Met a few beginners now would recommend your channel. And Lex Newman Instagram and be shouting y'all out. Yeah, I appreciate it, Liberty. Lex Newman, that's my homie. That's my main man, 10 grand. He's been on my podcast a few times. He was actually on my other podcast that I did once upon a time as well. Yeah, but that's the homie. We talk, we connect every now and again. I'll check in with my boy, you know, see how he's doing and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, really, you know, this stuff that I'm putting out here, it is a resource, and I would love. And women have been sending the guys that they're talking to me, or to the podcast, to the group, and it's been, you know, it's been pretty cool. And really, the numbers of the men's only group has been kind of growing, mostly based off of just direct recommendations from women. You know, where they're like, all right, dude, you want to talk to me? That's cool, but I'm gonna need you to join up with these guys and learn some shit. So, Lex, no, he is not single right now. He is in a relationship with a girl who is, you know, one of those Instagram girls, but he knew her before that a long time ago. Like they were friends. So he actually knew her back when he was like, I think when he was living like overseas in Korea. He still knew her. So, like, the girl that he's talking to now is just, you know, he's happy with what he's got. Let's say that much. But yeah, back to Roland though, and I wish I could like scroll through the comments on here. But Roland, yeah, I mean, the women judging is definitely a thing. Oh, trying to hook him up. Well, damn, where's the love for Chris? You trying to hook Lex Newman? This ain't Lex Newman channel. Now, but Roland, about that, you know, I feel you on that, and you know, that's something a lot of guys struggle with when it comes to, you know, especially because a lot of guys in this space, you know, and Liberty, I don't know if other women talk about this or not, but like a lot of guys who are open still date cis women. Like a lot of guys who are open date cis women, and they're still attracted to cis women because we like women, we like the form of women. So like, you know, a lot of guys don't stop looking at cis women, or they don't stop having sex with cis women or dating cis women. So, but a lot of them do have to worry about the shame that you know, a lot of cis women try to put on trans attracted, trans amorous men for dating trans women. So, you know, that's definitely a piece of the puzzle. And so I feel you on that, Roland, that, you know, you were probably worried back in your younger days. You were worried about, you know, being judged by cis women. And, you know, I'm gonna be honest, I'm still on like dating apps that are mostly cis women. So like I'm still on Bumble. I never took my Bumble profile or Tinder profile down. What I did do though was I made it very clear, look, I am looking for somebody who is open-minded. If you are going to engage with me in any way, you need to be an open-minded individual, because I don't need a closed-minded chick that's like, oh man, y'all niggas is gay, I don't do gay men, and this is whatever. You know, if you're too insecure to be with somebody who, you know, isn't just dating cis hetero women, then that's fine, that's you, but, you know, no need to shame. But a lot of men lie routinely to cis women. They hide dating trans women from cis women just because they don't want to be judged. So, you know, a lot of times when men lie, it is to escape judgment. And this motherfucker better not be trying to kill me. Whenever you run into other players on this game, they always try and murder you and shit. Yep, here he comes. Good thing this car is fast as fuck. So he won't be able to catch me because this car is like stupid fast. He's gonna need like, oh fuck, now he can catch me because I crashed. But yeah, like this car is really, and I mean really fast. So he ain't gonna catch me. Going at full speed? Nah, he's not gonna catch up. Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, see, Ryan, Roland, myself, plenty of guys in my men's only group. Guys, I really do suggest that you all join the men's only group. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that they just, yeah, they still date cis women and they lie about it. But you know, Roland, to the point that you made about the top 5%, being a top 5% guy, I will definitely say what it takes to be a top 5% guy. And I'm not even gonna say top 5% guy, but let's say part of that top 20%. It changes, you know, because women's priorities change as they age. You know, so having the hot body is definitely going to do it for you in college. That's all that's required. I mean, I played sports in college, and that's all I needed was they just wanted a in shape guy, and I was there for it. So, but you know, now it's, you know, you obviously probably help to be in shape or not be obese or anything like that. Like myself, I'm a big guy. But you know, it is, a lot of it does have to, sadly, a lot of things in this world revolve around money. You know, money, earning potential, your career, what you're doing for a living, all of that stuff. You know, a lot of that kind of shit kind of, you know, matters a little bit. That matters a lot more in the grand scheme of things. So it's just like, it's a thing. But you know, it's funny though, because like beauty and all that stuff, like that's kind of what a lot of men judge women off of, or you know, that's what will attract a lot of men. Obviously there are other things, you know, a woman's energy, you know, what kind of personality she has, like all of that stuff will, you know, matters as well. But you know, when they talk about the kind of currency each gender has, you know, a lot of times for women, they're talking about their looks, and for guys, you know, we have our looks, we have our careers, we have, you know, wealth, whatever. We have a few different things that we can use as currency, and you know, it's just funny because some people kind of get the signals mixed up in terms of what men actually like, and you know, like a lot of. Like for me, I'll get women say, oh yeah, well, you know, I got this career, I accomplished this, I'm doing this and that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like that's not really impressing me, or going to like, maybe, god damn, I need to pick her over every other woman. Like, no, that's not gonna do it for me. But that's because, you know, at the end of the day, like, it's nice, but that's not gonna win it all over. Like, so, and I think there might be some signals crossed where some women think like, well, my career, my achievements is really what's gonna bring guys in and up my worth to men, and that's just not 100% true in every case. I'd say in most cases it's not 100% true. I have to check out my meth lab. It looks just like the fucking my meth lab looks just like the Breaking Bad one, which is pretty dope. All right, Liberty. These days I just take my time when I'm talking to men. It's kind of funny when the transgender men meet me. They say it's a whole 360 from. I'm assuming the usual. Yo, give me a second. I gotta go and I gotta power up my laptop here because I need to see these comments. I need to keep up with y'all. So I really, because Liberty, I want to see what you're saying here. Because I think she's gonna say something. She's gonna be on to something real here. So let's see where my power's at on my laptop. Oh. Oop, nope. Besides the judging, it seems that trans women will date you while you date cis women, but do you think cis women will date you if they... Oh, fuck. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Come on up the bag. Sorry, it's very rare that the comments are jumping like this or moving in this way where I just can't read them. And also, it's rare that the comments are moving in a way that I can't read all of them. So I need to load all of this shit up on my laptop so I can follow along. Just give me 1 second. Stay with me. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. And my mom's talking trash on the phone. We play text message 8-ball pool. Come on, stupid fucking computer. What the fuck are you doing? See? They told me to buy an Alienware computer because it was dope, and you know, Alienware's just kind of letting me down sometimes. Give me 1 second, y'all. I want to be able to follow along. Alright. Okay, now I can see all the comments, because yeah, this PlayStation's cutting off the comments and shit. Alright. Oh shit, what up, Snowthorn? Alright. That's right. Man, and then he brings up the point. These days, I just want to take my time and talking to men. It's kind of funny when a man meets me and they say it's all three. Because I mean, oh. Like, see, all right, Liberty. So, and so at that last comment, like, dang, my sisters aren't that bad. LOL. Newsflash, they are. So, you know, that's the one thing that I kind of don't like about this space is just like, you know, the whole sister, like every woman you know in community is your sister and you caping for every single person. It's just like, yo, dude, everybody ain't dope. Like there is a lot of trash motherfuckers out there that you don't need to be caping for. So, you know, it's a lot of, it ain't all sweet out there. I would say it's largely the same on both sides. Largely the same. There's a shit ton of dudes out there that's trash as fuck. And I'm in complete agreement with a lot of women that, you know, a lot of men are trash. Oh, shit. I need a new car. I should have done this before. I need a new car. But yeah, you know, most guys are trash. And, you know, but also on the same point, there's the majority of girls out here that the guys are meeting are trash as fuck too. And, you know, not everybody's perfect, whatever else, but like, I think a lot of women have to be a lot more honest and really admit that some of their sisters are just not relationship material. at the point that they're at, where they're at right now. You know, if you know your girl is not really relationship minded, or she ain't no good for nobody, I mean, look, you know your friends, you know your sisters. I know my boys, and I know some guys. I know which guys ain't. I would never recommend a woman to. I would never send nobody that nigga way. I know he's trash. You know, I know he's not interested in relationship. I know he ain't gonna do this girl right. I know he's gonna cheat, lie, use, you know, be a little amoral, and really, you know, a lot of women in the trans community need to be honest about like which of their sisters kind of do that stuff. Because, you know, really it's like, well, she's my sister, and
you,
this, I'm like, yeah,
need me to bring you a ride?
but that she's still kind of trash, and that doesn't mean that she's a good person because she's one of your sisters. Like,
it's coming at you.
She's human. So yeah, I'm just saying, Liberty, it is that bad out there. It is a lot of trash out there, and it's a lot of folks that ain't no good for nobody, and it's a lot of folks out there that just need to do a lot of work on themselves, or do a lot of work in their lives to get themselves in a place where their life is conducive to a relationship. You know, for men, you know, a lot of times that means, bruh, brush yourself off, start taking care of yourself, you know, start dressing better, get yourself a job, you know, get yourself in a space like, yeah, okay, I get it, it's modern day X, Y, and Z, but let's be real. You know, men's roles have not changed. You still are going to be expected to be that provider. You're going to have to get a job, bro. You got to figure out a way to get some earning potential. And that's just the reality of the situation. So, you know, there is work for people to do, but yeah, it is that bad. I just want you to know that. I have to be honest with you. It is that bad. And, you know, this is not Chris hating on women, and this is not incel talk or anything like that. It's just not all sweet out here. So, all right, Ryan. But do you think cis women will date you if they know that you date trans women? Most of them won't. So guys, men who are listening know that most cis women will not date you if they know you date trans women. Or what they will do is they will try to date you, but sometimes insecurity gets in the way. Oh fuck, well, that's not good. Now I got stars, but you know, yeah, a lot of how come your head is it fine? Oh, funny. Consider this the Matrix. So, but yeah, guys, a lot of women will not. It ain't gonna work with a lot of girls. So just know that. You know, that's why you have to get somebody who's secure in themselves, open-minded, and you know, somebody who isn't. Because really, insecurity is what's at the heart of this thing. You know, the reason why a lot of women will not date men who date trans women is, on the out. Okay, I'm sorry. At first, it seems like homophobia or biphobia, but really, you know, once you really get underneath the layers, a lot of it has to do with insecurity, and they don't want to be worried about. They don't want to have to worry about you leaving them for a trans woman. They don't want to have to worry about, you know, a trans woman showing up and now she's got competition that she can't compete with. You know, like it's. That's really that's really what's at the heart of a lot of it is insecurity, and it's just really kind of whack. But you know, it is also whack that they are putting that shit on you, because you should not be made to suffer for their insecurity, especially since you have done nothing wrong to them. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. This is the world we live in. We have to accept it and adjust. So sorry, I'm gonna keep up with y'all comments. Snowthorn, what up? What up? Liberty, yeah. I'm sorry, Liberty. That's the thing. Don't nobody be watching my video game talk. So I'm a way more loose, way more real, way more loose, way more real on these, way more matter of fact on these gaming streams, because people don't watch them, and I'm okay with that. That's cool. But if you want the real talk, you're not gonna hear any political stuff. I'm not gonna be trying not to rile up the whole community and piss people off with the truth. That's how I operate on the podcast, because I don't want smoke a lot of times. But here, nobody watches. Doesn't matter. Let's see. I do think some of my sisters should be a little more nicer. And this, again, Liberty, this is something like I've been talking about. This is another one of those things that it transcends the trans community. There are a lot of women out there who just don't put out the right energy to attract men. Like, I know that sounds weird. Oh shit! What the fuck? I swear to God, if this asshole shoots me, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be fucking pissed if this asshole shoots me. Just leave me the fuck alone, dude. I'm trying to do a goddamn mission. I need supplies for my drug business. I'm giving him the option to just go about his business. But anywho, it's about the energy that people put out there. Like, real talk, men don't. Real talk, men don't like masculine energy from chicks. Like, yo, if you a woman and you roll up on me and say, yo, what up, my guy? What up, bro? This, and this. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, hello, hi, like, hello, ma'am. How are you doing? Like, it ain't gonna be no. I don't know. It's just that ain't what it is. So. Did these niggas just steal my supplies? I know these motherfuckers didn't steal my shit. Okay. Whew. But yeah, it's all about the energy that you put out there. And sometimes the energy just be off, and a lot of energy. The energy does get a little masculine coming from trans and cis women, just women in general. It's the energy can be a little masculine and just off-putting to men. In the same way that, if I rolled up, it was like, hey, sis, how you doing? What's the tea, girl? This, and this. Like, if I was a nigga at the club or at a restaurant and we was past exchanging glances and, it's obvious we're attracted to each other, but I came with feminine energy and it was like a little bit too much, you'd be like, ugh, this is kind of off-putting. I don't like it. Hey, Misha, I am not on Twitch. I should be on Twitch. I can't stream to two places at once off a PlayStation. And since I have a following here, and my Twitch following isn't exactly blown up yet, I'm just going on YouTube. But, that's just a whole thing, y'all. I just think that, sometimes we just don't really recognize certain things or what we're doing, what we're putting out there. That might just repel the opposite gender sometimes. But I'm just talking from a man's perspective, what the fuck. We think what I think. Okay, Speeder, you thought it was funny because they said I'm a sweet girl, like it's rare or something. Oh, it is rare. So yes, Liberty, being a sweetheart and being a nice woman and being approachable, and that shit can be rare. There's a lot of girls out there that just aren't approachable. Like, men don't want to have to fight through this hard exterior that some people put out there. Like, I get it. Shit happened in life and, you've been through things. You got that tough, thick skin, and that's cool. But it's like an aura that you put out there sometimes. And, like, it's, hold on, my sister's calling me. I'm going to just decline that. I'm like, get at me on Instagram, nigga. But, yeah, not every guy's trying to fight through, women being unapproachable. Like, we're not interested in that. Like, you got to put the energy out there that you're approachable. So that's really what it is. There are some women, and just women again. This transcends trans or cis or anything. It's just women in general. It's a lot of women that I get it. It's a defense mechanism because they done been through some shit. They done experienced a lot of shitty guys, whatever. But at the end of the day, that's not how you get that guy, that quality guy that you've been looking for. He's going to look at you and say, no, I'm good. I'm going to go over to the girl that actually looks like she wants to talk to people or is giving out the aura that she's going to be approachable. And that's just what the fuck it is, So, sad but true, but there are just certain energies and certain things that people put out there that just keep them single. And it's like, there is no, well, you have to get past, you have to be willing to put in the work to get past my exterior because I've been through X, Y, and did nobody give a fuck about? No, nobody has to do anything. Nobody owes you shit, and they're not going to, and you're just going to be single. Like, it's crazy, but that's what it is. I have to intimidate this guy. Biphobia. Wow, cis women who experience biphobia because you date trans women flatter themselves. I have half of mine to tell a lot of cis women. Cis women are a lot more feminine than them. I mean, well, that's true. That. I would say that that's definitely true. That there are a lot. There are, again, women in general. There are plenty of women in general that are just taking on more masculine traits in their personalities and the energy that they're putting out there. And there are other women that just aren't. And the women that aren't, you know, I have to be honest. A lot of times these are the girls that are, you know. Oh, yeah. I have to intimidate this dude, so I have to like shoot a gun by him or run him over with a car, and like I have to intimidate him so he'll give up the location of drug supplies so I can run my business without spending money. And these little bullets are cheap as fuck. So yeah, but you know, that's it. Just like, you know, I have to be like, there are some men that are just kind of putting out little. I hate the concept of beta male and alpha male and all that shit, but there's some dudes that just put out certain energies that women just don't respect. And, you know, it's just not good. So, anywho, but yeah, yes, Ryan, I agree with you. There are trans women that are more feminine than a lot of cis women out here. Not a lot, but a good amount of cis women out here. So, yes. Okay. He'll like pass out from fear or whatever. You know. But yeah, so what's up with that boss over there? Oh. So yeah, I mean it's all good. I'm not no fucking like dating expert, no shit like that. I'm just speaking from my own experience and perspectives and shit that people just like, you know, shit that people share with me about their experiences. Because, you know, I do talk to a lot of guys, and guys just, they share their dating experience with me. They tell me, okay, well, you know, this is why I didn't follow through with this chick, or here's why I didn't like her so much, or here's what I was looking for, or whatever. Like, men, we do talk, we share. At least that kind of stuff, like, you know, what we're looking for, our experiences, good or bad with certain women, like, we'll sit there and gossip. We do that shit. We definitely do that shit. So, and especially with me, you know, we just kind of talk, so. But yeah, Matchmaker, Tuesday evening, catch the show. We will be live on Facebook. We'll be live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So I'm gonna put all of my non-guy talk shows, the specialty shows, I'm gonna start putting a lot of that shit on Twitch. So that's what I think. That's what the strategy is going to be behind that. Just because I still need to go live on Periscope, but you know, maybe I just do everything on Twitch because Twitter ain't really taking off like I thought it would be, but thought it could. But that's why I was just so slow to start Twitter. I do have a Snapchat. I don't really use it, and the name of it is like dumb. Like I'm not really big into Snapchat. Oh, guys, so here's something else that happened to me recently, because this is something that like a lot of like trans attracted men like talk about, or a lot of guys get frustrated with. A lot of guys who are trans attracted, trans amorous, whatever, they will talk about like they will share their frustration of, you know, constantly being solicited. Like, I feel like this community of men who pursue trans women is probably one of the most solicited, one of the most solicited groups of individuals, you know, on this planet, because, you know, a lot of women in this space monetize their sexuality so aggressively, whether it's for survival, not survival. I'm not even going into the whys. I'm just telling you the is. But, you know, a lot of guys, you know, they'll hit girls up, or they'll jump in the DMs like we talked about last night on the show. The guys like to do the social media DMs, and, you know, they'll turn into like, you know, all right, well, you got to pay me to talk to me. You got to, send me some money on Cash App and then I'll talk to you. And this girl hit me up yesterday out of nowhere. She had found me on Instagram and followed me, and then I was just like, yo, we just got started. She's like, yeah, you were recommended to me and like the people you may know. And she was a young trans woman, and turns out she actually lived in the same. I live in Houston, Texas. She says that she lived in a suburb of Houston, Texas that's named Pasadena. And like, you know, she came back very quickly saying, oh, damn, dude, I live in Pasadena, like very quickly. Because like, if you're not from here, Pasadena is not what would roll off of your tongue, really, about like a Houston place. But, so I do believe that she's in the area. But we got to talking and we had some really good conversation because, you know, when I engage with women in my private messages or in conversation, like, we're just going to have regular ass conversation. Like, there is no, you know, I don't prefer for my conversations to get overly sexual too soon. There's a lot of stuff I just don't prefer. But I like to keep things above board and platonic, and, you know, I like to be a gentleman. So, but, you know, it was dope conversation. But then she was like, all right, well, let's take the conversation. Like, do you have WhatsApp? I usually do WhatsApp. I'm not on Instagram a lot. I'm like, all right, yeah, I got WhatsApp. And then as soon as we got to WhatsApp, what happened? Hey, you know, just so you know, I am a cam girl and I do these shows, and I would love to do a private show with you, you know, for $50. So if you Cash at me $50, you know, I'll get to that snow thrower in a second. But she was like, yeah, if you could you Cash at me $50, and, you know, maybe we could do a private show. You know, I like you, and that's why I want to do a private show with you. And, you know, this is just my process. Like, please respect my process, because I was telling this woman no like 100 different ways without just saying no and being impolite. I was like, hey, you know what? Thank you for the offer. I respectfully decline. I would not be interested in doing X, Y, and Z. But she just wouldn't take no for an answer. She just kept coming back. So, you know, eventually I'm just like, look, lady. And in fact, I'm going to just read my response, because I hit her with the hi-ya in words. I just said, so anyway, she was just like, yo, I see potential in you. Like, this is my process. I've been through so many bad relationships in the past that, like, I just do the cam shows first, and then if I like you, it'll turn into something else. And I'm like, oh, great, here we go. Trying to dangle the carrot in front of my face, really, to get money out of me. No, thank you. But, you know, my last message to her before I blocked her was, I just said, the answer is still no. To be honest, you'll never get a quality man this way. Take some time, get some therapy, and resolve the trauma those bad relationships inflicted on you. Because she was saying that the reason why, when she's having good conversation with men, the next step is to do a private cam show that the man has to pay for. She was saying was because of all the bad relationships she had in the past. Well, not exactly Chris's fault or problem. There's some shit that you got to resolve for yourself, and you got to get professional help. So, you know, I just say, hopefully in the future you can proceed, you know, with finding a mate in a healthier way that doesn't include sex work. I hope things work out for you in the future, with a heart emoji. And then I just blocked her. But it was just like, yo, you need to respect my process, and this is how I proceed in relationships, and you should respect that. And I'm like, well, I'm not interested, and I'm not a client. I'm not a trick. You will not monetize me. And, you know, guys, don't be offended. I guess it's gonna happen, so be a little bit less offended about it. But, like, be cool with just saying no and block people, because some people are just straight up sales folks, and they will be all up on you for that shit. Yeah, you're right, Liberty. It's all about transparency. But, like, yo, don't waste time gassing me up, saying, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I go out over here and I do this around Houston and I do that, and I like to do this in my free time. And, you know, that introductory talk that a lot of people have, which I'm totally fine with having, you know, because somewhere in there we're going to find a commonality where we're going to find things that we can relate on, and that'll help us have further conversation, which is, you know, something I'm totally here for. But yeah, fellas, if they push too hard, just block them. If they get mean about it, block them. Like, don't be afraid to block women that are just coming off really fucked up and wrong. Trust me, those same girls will have no problem doing it to guys that come off to them wrong. Don't feel bad. You're not a problem in the community or anything if you're just protecting your peace. You know. Oh fuck, I gotta get some stars. So that was my little fucking story. Snowthorn, do you feel irritated by women who message you too much? That's a negative, sir. I think for me, it's all about how much time I have. I work a full-time job. I want some downtime for just me. And I think sometimes, there you go. I think sometimes there are people that really demand too much of my time. When people start demanding too much of my time, that's when I get irritated. Ooh, so I need to acquire star level. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rob this store real quick. Oh, not with a grenade. Give me all the money.
Yes, we're open. Whoa! Oh shit!
Oh, I guess I can't rob shit because. Oh wow, really? Really, guys? Fucking get the fuck out of here, police. Yeah, y'all are gonna die too. Who else wants to die? Also, one of my favorite movies ever, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. One of my favorite movies growing up. Love that movie growing up. Oh, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. Gotta run. Oh, I'll turn off the radio. But yeah. No, I don't get so let me rob the motherfuckers real quick. Now I don't get upset by people messaging me too much. Really what it is when, you know, let's just say I start talking to a young woman, or we start corresponding or whatever else, and maybe we video chat. Okay, well, if we video chat once, that does not mean that you now have rights to my time, you know, unlimited rights to my time. Like, that does not mean that we're gonna start chatting every single day, and if I don't answer your messages immediately, that, you know, I'm foul and this and this. Like, real talk, I'm a guy who's busy. I got work. Like, if I'm not messaging you in the middle of the day, like, yo, you gotta be cool with that shit. So I think it's just sometimes people get a little bit too onerous of other folks' times, and they don't understand that, you know, me having free time doesn't mean I'm available to speak to you all the time. So, like, you know, sometimes I do just want to fucking have a seat and just watch, like, Netflix. Sometimes I just want to veg out. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. God damn it. So I gotta shoot that cop off of the bike and then steal his bike. So what I'm gonna do is get rid of these motherfucking stars and go kill that dude and take his shit. But yeah, that's what it is for me, y'all. It ain't about people messaging too much or nothing like that. It's just about, like, what we talked about before, expectations. You know, if your expectations of me is that I will be available to talk to you at all times whenever you want to talk to me, that's not realistic with somebody who has a job and has things going on with this podcast. You know, I still got to keep up communications with my family, whatever. But look, I just, yeah, right. Goodbye, officer. Oh no, he's still moving. Anywho. But yeah, okay, officers. Here. Really? Alright, he's gotta go. Alright, little Mr. Rachel Dink cop. Shotgun. And we're off. It's kind of like Terminator. It's like, hey, nice bike. Oh yeah, yeah, that's right, Ryan. You live in California. Oh shit, let me read your full comment, bro. So I have to use my phone to read the comments and shit. I live. Oh yeah, dude, you on Netflix is dope, man. But I get it. It's not for everybody. It's like a Dexter style show for me. I like characters that are really like intelligent in their heads. So yeah. So I live in California. It's very refreshing. You know what? It's like liberty. Again, I'm gonna just say that this is just something that transcends trans and cis, but there are the femininity that trans women bring in some instances can be very fucking refreshing. It is refreshing to come across a woman that has a nurturing spirit and aura about them, and like they're just really there to like, and they're actually like not completely self-centered, like what about me, what are you buying me, get this for me, whatever, were you paying for this for me? Like they give a fuck about the guy and their partner, and they're considerate. Like, and that shit's just as fresh. It's a breath of fresh air. It really is. It really can be when you run into that, which is why, you know, I've heard from some women they get up, they're tired because it's like every dude they meet, I'm assuming a woman like yourself, Liberty, you probably had dudes out there trying to marry you. Like, it's brothers that run into good women, they're like, oh, fuck that. Nah, this is the one. Like, ain't too many girls like you out here. I want this. So I gotta lock you down. Cause, you know, let's be real. Men, we know when a woman is wifey material. We know when she's wifey material. Just like women know that, you know, they're getting certain zaddy vibes off a dude or whatever. Like, we can't be playing these games. We all know what kind of vibes we get off of folks, and you know, what we think about different folks that we meet. So fellas know when a woman is giving them wifey vibes, and they know when it's like, all right, well, not exactly wifey vibes, but I'll hang out here for a little bit, you know. Like, some people know that the person they're with isn't the one, but they're just doing it. They know they don't love that person. They're just there.
Okay.
So, oh, nice. Why don't we drive to this one? Enough of the, you know, rocket car stuff, rocket man junk. But yeah, you know, it really can be a breath of fresh air when somebody, you know.
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
Makes sense. I know that sounds horrible and maybe misogynistic or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but oh no. Oh no, not that one. Cool.
I'll bring it by. Aight, I'll get back to work.
But you know, it can be a breath of fresh air when, you know, we meet, when some guys who are dating women in this community just come across somebody who's just really a sweetheart and genuine. You know, it is pretty crazy. I was very surprised at the experiences of men when I first started connecting with different men, and they were just like, all right, man, well, you know, you got to watch out for this and watch out for that, and just, you know, make sure everything's above board, because there's a lot of folks playing games, and people try to use you and all this and that, you know, watch out. I'm just like, yo, that's nuts to me. It was, oh, motherfucker. I really don't enjoy the radio stations on this game. I'm sorry. I'm very traditional, and I would say I'm very feminine, so it takes my time in choosing men. I want them to be masculine and authentic. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And you know, that's very dope. And you know, really, for a lot of folks, what it really is like they don't give people enough time to tell on themselves. Like, give somebody enough time to like tell you who the fuck they are. Like, everybody be trying to rush shit. They be trying. It's so many people that value just not being alone and want to get in that relationship and whatever else, which is, you know, I can't say that I've never been there. I was there before at a time in my life when I was very lonely. Where I was like really just rushing to get in a relationship as soon as I found somebody I thought was halfway decent. But you know, turns out I didn't give that person enough time to really show me who they really were. So that's really largely on me. My fault. Chris fucked up. So, die here. You better not get up. But yeah. Oh, sorry. It's no time. I think so, because I was very conscious of feminine and masculine energy. And you know, that's a whole nother thing as well, you know. It's just a lot of men who are raised by women, you know, raised by a single mother, they know masculine energy in women. But you know what, that also a lot of times that sets men up for failure. Because, you know, a lot of men might be conditioned in a way that's palatable to an alpha woman, and they'll be more of a backup beta kind of guy, and then, you know, here you come with women being upset. Well, why all these men beta and I run over these men and they ain't no men mad, like they're not assertive enough, they're not this enough, and it's like, okay, maybe these particular guys aren't, but a lot of it has to do with how they were raised and how they were conditioned. And some of it has to do with, you know, bitch. Oh, see, the one time I just wanted to drive instead of ride a goddamn hover bike, that bullshit happens. Why niggas gotta be whack like this? Why do people gotta be whack? I'm just trying to run an honest business here, but this fool just being a straight up hoe. Like, why? It's not even necessary for you to be a hoe like this dude. Like, I'm just trying to get shit done here, buddy boy. Okay, and that's a thing. It wasn't a helicopter, some jackass in a jet fighter. He just came by and strafed the ground and fucking murdered me. So now I'm just off the roads and kind of like just driving all over the place to make it a little bit harder to like line up a shot on me. I don't know, maybe he's giving up. Maybe he's just doing other shit now. That'd be nice. Sorry, I am gaming, y'all, but you know, it's just game and chat time, so. Game and chat time. Sorry, I kind of lost. Oh yeah, so conscious, yes. Show me who you are, you know. Hi, Ross, sorry, I can get to know this person. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's that liberty, it's that whole thing. I know we've all heard this concept before, that people show up to dates with their representative, like they bring their representative, they don't bring them. So, you know, it takes time to kind of peel back the layers of people to show you who they really are and their sensibilities. And, you know, eventually you'll find out, especially if they start talking about politics. Ugh. Like I had one girl, she was showing some really ignorant conservative vibes, where she was on some like, well, I see, all right, they're out there giving government money away to the homeless and whatever, and they're giving them my tax dollars, and I'm like, yo, dude, you're poor, and you don't pay that much in taxes, so they like, don't act like that's all your motherfucking money. You ain't giving them shit. Like what they're getting, what you put in, you paid them like 1/100th of a percent of a cent. like 0.001 cents out of the 2,000 whatever thousands of dollars. That's what the fuck. That's how much of your money went to them. So I'm looking up at the TV. I know the camera's right here. I'm looking at myself on cameras. Oh, it's weird. So, you know, come on now. Like, just, I get how people get spun into, like, you know, hating on people that get government assistance, but let's be real, the poor people that are angry at it, who could seriously use the money. I'm not even saying that they don't. Those people, the people that are using things that, you know, we set in place are not the problem. Yes, not everybody's good. We all know one person that ain't shit. We all know one person who ain't got it that ain't shit. Fine, it happens. So, but you know, you can't use that one story to be like, oh well, they're all swindlers. They all don't do this. No, they're not. They're not spending the money right. It's supposed to go to them, man. Just let it be. Like, don't be worried about what the fuck other people doing. Just, you know, get your hustle up. Shit. Like, just looking at other people because you're upset about where you're at in life. Like, that ain't what's up. So, but you know, I kind of logicked that whole conversation out with her just so she could understand how, like, silly her argument really was, or her thought process was, because it was just like, yo, dude, that shit ain't cool, and that's some low level shit, and I like you, but I can't have you thinking like that and being like in my space. So there is that too. I don't know. It is what, you know, what's really weird is how many conservatives I've had. There are, okay, I've had not quite a few. I've had a few white conservative women, like, you know, at me, going out on dates with me and shit, and then I'm like, yo, like, you do realize I'm gonna side with Black Lives Matter, right? Like, what the fuck? What did you expect from me? Like, what did you think you were gonna get when you signed up to date a black man? Like, there aren't that many Tim Scotts out there. There aren't that many sellout niggas out there that's going to be signed with, you know, Back the Blue and all that other stupid shit. So, like, it was just weird. And it's just, it's kind of, it is also, but you know what? That is kind of like homophobic men who date trans women, because a lot of homophobic men date trans women. Men who are uncomfortable around gay men who are uncomfortable around people in community. Yeah, by the way, this is like my James Bond car because it has like machine guns on the front of it. Okay, I'm gonna just get out and shoot these motherfuckers. But yeah, there's homophobic dudes that date trans women. And there's some women that, you know, that's what they want. They want that masculine guy, that guy. Because some women look at trans attracted men as men that aren't really masculine, and, you know, they want a real straight. They don't look at trans attracted men, or men who are open with their attraction. They don't look at us. They don't look at us a lot of times as real straight men. So, you know, then they'll pair up with these guys that are just straight up homophobic. They don't want to be around any of their sisters. They don't want to be around community at all. And, like, these dudes are with these trans women, but they're, like, doing everything in their power not to be gay, for the situation and not be gay in their mind. So, you know, obviously he's not going to give them any oral. He's not going to do this. He's not going to do that. You know, don't even think about him touching your penis, doing anything, because he's not gay. He's a man. And you're a woman, and that's it for him. And he, you know, it's so weird. And people end up in these relationships with these guys, and then, you know, when these women try to, like, yo, this is who I am, these are my friends, whatever, you know, then they're like, oh, well, why won't he? Now they're upset. He doesn't want to be cool with my friends. He doesn't want to get to know my friends. I'm upset about that now. I swear to God, this son of a bitch better not be following me. Shit, come on. Okay. Sorry, I'm just worried about this dude, like, this guy behind me in that little, trying to fucking come after me. There's some haters in this game. They will chase you down and kill you if you're trying to do anything that is, you know, like, oh hey, men on motorcycles. me knock them off. Because that's a smart idea. Chase down a van and a motorcycle. But yeah, it's a really weird world that we live in, where it's just like homophobic men date trans women, and women knowingly date men knowing that they have an issue with LGBTQ community. That, like, really, that's like me dating a racist woman. That's like me dating a woman I know she's got issues with racism, but I love her anyways. And she affirms me as a man, and she makes me feel the way that I want. Like, ugh. Like, it's so bizarre world, but whatever. Sorry, I want to drive the car, but I want to read your comment too. Oh, sorry, Snowthorn. I'm gonna see what you said here. The worst, it says, women would try to hit on the guy to prove that she can take him. Self-esteem much? Yes, there's that. I mean, you know, fellas kind of do that shit too a lot of times, you know, where we go after women, you know, yeah, well, I got that girl, or I'm the man because I got her. Like, it's, you know, trying to make other human beings your conquest. Stupid. You know, there's all of that. Oh, thanks, Liberty. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time. But yeah, that's the thing that people do. It's kind of weird, and you know that. I think self-esteem is probably at play when it comes to the kinds of men that some women pick up that are, you know, hyper masculine and, you know, tatted up, and they're that thug nigga, they that toxic nigga, you know, he brings all this fucked up energy, whatever. I mean, that is at play, I'm sure. Not that I'm gonna sit here and psychoanalyze a lot of trans women, but it's just, I think it's pretty obvious that that's a piece of the puzzle. Sorry. All right, Ryan.
That's what we were looking.
Let me read your comment, Ryan. All right. Have you ever thought about moving to or visiting places where trans are more accepted or more the norm? Yeah, Ryan. Now what you brought up right here is interesting because you brought up Brazil as an example, and what's fascinating about that is I was on like a Twitter thread with like one of the porn star girls, and she was like, yeah, I'm gonna move to Brazil, it looks nicer over there, this and this. And like, a lot of people don't know, Brazil is like really bad for trans people. Brazil is like really bad for the LGBTQ community in general. Like, it is not good. Shit is not accepted over there, and you will catch violence on those streets. Like, nah, men being trans attracted is not accepted over there. Like, the porn will tell you one story, which is what that other girl was, she was getting her narratives from the porn as well. Like, the porn will tell you one story, but, you know, what's really true is that it's not, it ain't like that. It is, I mean, they have, it's a really repressive society down there, and trans people are attacked and under siege and murdered all the time down there, and it's not. Now, from our eyes as trans attracted men, trans amorous men that watch a lot of porn, it looks like, God damn, Brazil's a fucking free-for-all, and I love it. That looks like heaven to me. But in actuality, it's really bad. It's really bad. I had one of the guys in my group, he went down there, and, you know, this motherfucker almost got robbed by, he almost got set up. He was trying to talk to this trans girl, and, you know, she was like, yeah, all right, well, let's go over here. And he was thinking maybe he was going to get some head in public, whatever, get some action, whatever. But she was trying to lead him down this, like, dark alleyway and shit. And it was like, nah, there's motherfuckers waiting in there to rob him. And it wasn't good. But, like, seems too mislead. Oh, yeah, porn does mislead. You're right. Porn does mislead. And it will share, like, certain stereotypes that aren't true. So we'll put thoughts in people's heads that you know, aren't exactly accurate. But, you know, look, Brazil is still a dope place to visit. I'm just saying, you know, living there and life for those girls there is still very dangerous. They are killed. They don't have a lot of rights. And it's not sweet. It is not sweet. We are all way better off here in America. And I'm not some fucking hyper patriotic motherfucker. but we are definitely better off here. So, and you know what's crazy? Like people think like Asian countries are like, well, yeah, these Asian countries they're all open too, dude. The Philippines is fucked up for trans women. Like they in the Philippines, they don't recognize shit when it comes to their gender. Like they don't give a fuck. These girls get dead named all the time. They can't marry. You know, they're constantly harassed in the streets. And they're it's really bad. It's really really bad over in the Philippines. Obviously, Thailand is probably a little bit of a different situation. I've never been there, and I don't know anybody who lives there. Well, I may know somebody who lives there, but I don't really talk to them. I only talk to people in. I talk to. I have a couple of friends in the Philippines, and then a couple of the guys in my group, in the men's only group. A couple of them actually went overseas. They went and found their wife in the Philippines, and they're married to Filipino trans women. So, you know, a lot of what I know about their culture and that stuff comes from the guys that are married to the girls.
Okay.
And then, you know, some of the other women that I've talked to in my time as well. But I've never talked to a woman from, I mean, seriously talked to a woman from like Thailand. I talked to a girl from like Japan for a little bit. But, you know, they do have websites out there for, you know, that are specifically targeted to like the foreign dating scene. All I would say is, you know, as with foreign dating in general, you got to watch out for the pros. As for dating in general, you got to watch out for the pros. I remember there was a woman that I was talking to, and you know, I listen when people talk. And she was like, yeah, so I had a fiance there in America, and I was in America for a little bit, and it didn't work out. And I ended up having to go back home. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, I want to know a little bit about this guy that you were engaged to here in America. How old was he? Oh, he was 68 years old. Oh, really? So you were 30 dating a 68-year-old man. Well, that's a little telling. Okay. Do you have any other friends here in America? Oh, yeah, I have a few girlfriends that are trans that are married to men in America. And, you know, I said, oh, really? All right, well, I mean, what kind of guys are they married to? All the guys that her friends were married to were like fucking over 70 years old. Like, they were all just marrying these old white guys. Just to fucking get in the country. Like, citizenship was the goal, not like actually finding somebody that you want to be with. So, like, that was, you know, a little telling to me. So you gotta kind of have to ask the right questions to kind of suss out who people are and what they're about and what's important. And I mean, this girl knew the immigration system better than anybody else I've ever known. She was a straight up pro. She knew all about the shits. So, you know, in that international dating world, you got to kind of watch yourself. I was talking to a girl from Brazil for a little bit, but kind of just fell off. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, a lot of men with lots of different experiences in my group. Filipinos. I don't know any guys I don't know if there's any guys in my group that are in relationships or have dated women from Brazil. I know guys have, you know, brought their wives over from Mexico, like married a Mexican woman. And I have to say, I was talking to a Mexican woman for a little bit. Well, she was living in D.C., but she was new to America. Like, she was a couple months in. But it was so refreshing talking to this woman, and like, you know, her requirements for her man had nothing to do with his looks. She was like, look, I don't care. I just want a man who's really a man who you know, I want a man's man, and I want somebody who's going to support me and love me, and I want somebody that I can love for, I can care for and love and support, and, you know, X, Y, Z. And I'm not talking about no fucking maid or no shit like that. I'm just talking about, like, her idea of love and what she was looking for was very old school, and it was just so fucking refreshing after you know, after dating a lot of women, like experiencing a lot of women in this community that just like is all about the money. And it's like, you know, you better pay the girls, you better pay women, you know, you better pay me for my time and pay me for this. And it's just like, it was so refreshing to have this woman have this take on relationships. I really enjoyed it. So it was very old world thoughts on like partnership and what she was looking for and what the value a man can bring to her and the value that she can bring to a man. You know, that's another whole side of the argument a lot of times is, you know, when we're in mixed spaces and men and women are talking and like, well, I need a man who can do this. I need a man. But a lot of people, a lot of times the women aren't like talking about what they bring to the table. It's like, what do you bring to the table? Like, what makes you a good wife? So, you know, that's also kind of a thing. But, you know, I'm not sitting here trying to, again, I'm not trying to be the misogynist in chief. Oh, sorry, let me see your comments, fellas. Yeah, Ryan, join the group. There's lots more information in the group, and there's a lot of guys can, the Men Like Us Tribe Facebook group, that's the one you need to join. There's a lot of guys in there that can, you know, definitely share their experience with you, man. So there's a lot more information in there. The Brazilian porn actresses say they don't visit the USA because it's hard to get a visa. Oh, absolutely. A lot of those countries, it's very hard for them to get a visa to come here. And a lot of times their vehicle to come here is like, really like 90-day fiance marriage. A lot of times they're coming from those poorer countries. They're coming here on a fiance visa and they're getting married and getting a green card. And if they stay married long enough, they'll get citizenship. And that takes like, well, it takes some years to get citizenship, but yeah. So a lot of these countries, like people you might be able to get like a work visa, but that's kind of really tough as well. Like the easiest main mode that people like usually get here from those countries, from what I understand, from what I was told from actual people in those countries, is, you know, the fiance visa. But you can't, it's also kind of hard to get the fiance visa because you have to have like evidence of a relationship. So, you know, you have to have, you know, go on trips and take pictures together and like show that we've been corresponding for this long, and you got to you got to have all the receipts from your DMs and how long y'all been talking, and, you know, show a regular pattern that y'all have really like, you know, yeah, oh, definitely RIP Ashley Hunter. Definitely a unique one, a unique woman. So in that world, she was definitely bad as hell. She's definitely one of those premier chicks I was talking about that, you know, guys, like, she's beautiful, great to look at and all this stuff, but you just, and I'm not talking shit about her, I'm talking about like just women in general. Like, guys, you don't know what's beneath the surface. You don't know how damaged, whatever, you don't know what the fuck is there that you're gonna have to deal with. And you know, you just, I know a lot of times you just look at the looks, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous, this and this, I'm gonna wife her up right now because look how fine she is, look at how this, look at how that. It's just like, there are some very pretty women in this community, and just in general there are lots of really pretty women out there, period. And it's just like, you gotta know that, you know, with some of these women, I'll just say with a lot of women in the trans community, especially like the really hot ones that are like in their 20s that have, you know, the big tits, big ass, facial femme, all these surgeries, all this money, they'll do those surgeries cost a shit ton of fucking money. And, you know, a lot of these girls that get all that stuff in their 20s, sometimes they pay a price. And, you know, a lot of times that price is very high, and it leaves a lot of mental scars. You know, a lot of times that sex work life that they live to get, you know, to get that hot look very quickly in, you know, in their younger lives, you know, it leaves scars, and there's a price to be paid for getting quick money, attaining power. I mean, it really is kind of like the childhood, you know, in kids' cartoons. What happens to the bad guy that attains his power quickly? There's usually some side effects that he didn't plan for that kind of fuck him up, and it just doesn't work out for him. So, you know, I'm just offering all of this as, you know, things to be aware of, You know, when you're pursuing women in this community, especially if they're women who look like Ashley Hunter, you kind of have to really kind of feel things out a little bit, because, you know, expecting a lot of these girls to be super hot with all this surgery and all this stuff to look like her in their 20s is just, and with no side effects, and for her to be just the same as any other cis woman you dated and have the same amount of emotional baggage and all this stuff is like not realistic. Not realistic at all. So just know that, guys. That's my monologue. I know I'm getting off my soapbox. I'm reading the comments now. I found your YouTube on your channel. You had Ashley Hunter in it. Yeah. She was in Canada.
And we're still in business.
Oh man, that sucks, bro. That sucks. That definitely sucks. You know, I have a weird thing about when women like that die, when women who are involved in porn die, when women who are involved in porn and OnlyFans and all that shit, like when they die, I have this weird thing where I can't watch their stuff anymore. Like their content still lives on the internet even though they're not living on this earth. And like if I had consumed their content before and then I learned that they passed away, like for whatever reason, I'm not interested in watching their porn anymore, and I just don't do it. So like when what the fuck was that girl's name? God damn it. Well, let's just say with Ashley Hunter, like I would not watch Ashley Hunter videos. Like I would not. I don't know why. I'm just not. It's just I will not watch her videos now. I'm not saying I watched them before, but like there have been women that I found out that they died, and I'm like, oh, I'm not watching those videos no more. Like it's just a mental block that I just can't get past for whatever reason. Let's see. Did I get it, bro? I texted her once. Yeah, I brought it up. Brought up another hot woman in ATL, and she went him, a man. It's not very easy. Yeah, fellas. You will have to have the patience of a saint a lot of times when dealing with a lot of women in this community, and that's just largely because a lot of women in this community, they're really just their experience. A lot of times their life experience just doesn't prepare them to interface with the opposite gender in a healthy way, especially like a woman like Ashley Hunter. Just a lot of women who are involved in escorting or whatever else, like a lot of times that experience leaves a really bad taste in their mouth when it comes to men. And you know, their relationship with men becomes adversarial in nature. And you know, either way, I would say, you know, definitely have grace, but in the same token, fellas, you don't have to put up with everything that they throw your way. You don't have to put up with toxic personalities. You don't have to put up with angry women. You don't, like, this isn't a situation of no matter what they do, no matter how they act, you have to deal with it. You don't. You can walk away. There are plenty of fish in the sea. There are always more women out there. Like, it is not oh, is this asshole gonna try and kill me? Thank God this car is armored, but still. Like, I just want men to know, like, you don't have to put up with everything that's thrown at you. You have the option to just walk away. And you don't have to embolden somebody and make them feel like, yeah, that's right, I get to do whatever I want to. And, like, no. You can't just fucking leave, you know? So, I don't want you guys feeling like, you know, feeling pressured to, you know, be overly understanding and allow things to happen to you that you don't have to allow. So, give me 1 second. I need to switch out controllers because this one's running out of juice. I've been on for a while. Turn this. 1 second. Alright, and I'm back. the other one on charger. Got my Oculus Quest on the charger. You know, want to get to these comments, fellas, because I appreciate y'all sitting in here just watching this shit, taking part in conversation. G Mike, what up? What up, G Mike? Appreciate you chiming in, brother. It says, very true for the older girls when it wasn't as easy or legal to get those surgeries. Yes, yes, and yes. You know, and that's a whole other side of this thing when it comes to the sex work side of it. Like, you know, obviously there are women that, you know, this is how they put food on the table for themselves. And, you know, this is how they make their money. Which, you know, how you make your money is one thing, but, you know, what I'm willing to put up with in a relationship is a completely other thing. So, you know, really, for me, specifically, I am not interested in, I'm not interested in dating a woman who is actively in sex work. But, you know, everyone has a past, and I'm totally fine with dating a woman who has that in her past. I don't think I would judge somebody in you know, on that tip. So where the fuck is the goddamn drug supplies? What's steal the supplies? Where the fucking supplies? It's supposed to be right here. And this is why we need the hover bike. These the supplies? Nope. So, let's see here. Just got a lovely letter from Dominique Jackson, who plays Elektra. Fucking Dominique Jackson is the shit. Fucking love her. I would love to see her play Storm in X-Men. I think she just, her whole persona would I don't know, just from what I've seen of her on Pose, it totally works. Yes, the older ladies had it tough. We talked about Dorian Corey, you know, Six Struggles. Absolutely, it's definitely rough. But you know what? It's a brand new day, fellas. It is a brand new day. You know, that life of yesteryear ain't the life of today. And a lot of times, you know, people ain't going through what they used to. I'm not saying the world is perfect, but there's never been a time in American history where women in the trans community have had so many options. They've had so many options available to them when it comes to, you know. Oh, I gotta steal it from the bank. That's why. Okay, let's get our shotgun ready. But yeah, I mean, you know, while that is the way things were, it's not all, that isn't the, you know, end all be all truth now. Things are just different, so. So, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and invalidate, you know, people's experiences or their whys or whatever else like that, but you know, what I will say is what I've always said on my show, guys. You know, you have a right to not be okay with certain things. So, you know, if a girl is involved in sex work and you would prefer not to have a monogamous partner who's involved in sex work, you have every right to want that or not want that. And, you know, not wanting that doesn't make you a bad ally to the community or anything like that. That makes you a human with preferences, and, you know, you deserve to have whatever preferences you want, you know. So definitely don't feel pressured to want to have to want certain things when it comes to dating in this space, because you don't have to settle, you don't have to allow certain things. People will tell you, well, you know, you're wrong because this. No, you get to choose who you're with. You get to choose what you allow, and if you're not interested in that, you're not. If you are, then you are, and it's all good. So this one. Okay, cops mostly left me alone, right? Oh shit. Nope. Where do I go? Where do I go? Fast and powerful. So My brain power is being used up to get away from the police. Okay. Ryan, that's true. There is something uneasy about watching the porn of actresses who pass away. Yeah, it is really weird to me. I just can't. But there are some like that. And their videos are so popular. I'll see them pop up on Pornhub or X Hamster, whatever, and I'm just like, I can't watch that one. So, August Ames and her suicide made me. And oh my goodness. It said that when she was. Oh, bitch. Well, why you gotta be a bitch? Oh, why are people assholes? Why are people fucking assholes? Well, that's who it is. Mariana Cordoba. That was one of the main ones. Super Yoshi, fuck you, you piece of shit. And now I have to come kill you. Why? Because kind of an asshole. Super Yoshi, you brought this on yourself. And now you're messaging me talking shit? You brought this on yourself, sir. You will die.
I can't get your ride over there right now.
Yeah, yeah. No, her death was confirmed, Brian. Like, yeah, her death is, she's gone. But yeah, when I used to watch her videos, and when she died, I was like, fuck, can't watch those videos.
Shit, sorry, I can't get there at the moment.
What the fuck is up with this asshole? Give me my fucking car, bitch. I pay you every day.
You need something, huh? One of your rides? Let me know. It's on the way.
Alrighty. But yeah, no, Mariana Cordoba died. Let's see here. And Roy. So about the major media, well, what happens a lot of times with the major media is, really, guys, we don't know these women. We don't know their actual fucking names. So like the names that they use with friends and family and people that know them is one thing, but like, what we know them by is a completely different name. We know their porn names, but a lot of times when they're reported on by local media, they're using their government names or the government names that they got changed or unchanged, whatever their actual their names are, like that people that know them, that's on record. Like, that's not the shit they're giving us. Like, obviously, these girls, their real name is not Sunshine or whatever the fuck else, Mercedes, all that shit. Like, that's not real. This bitch go. Did I get him? No, I didn't. Fuck! Oh, now I'm frustrated. Sorry, I done lost everybody just trying to focus on this goddamn vendetta. And I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to find a new session. Say fuck that guy. But yeah, Mariana Cordoba. But yeah, when media report on them using names that we just don't know, so that's how it seems like we don't know, or it's not reported that these women are dying. We don't know their real names. So, you could watch a report on the news or see something on Facebook. Oh yeah, a woman dies, and a lot of times now they're not even reporting them as trans women. They're just, oh yeah, woman dies. Okay, a woman died, but you don't know that she's trans. You don't know anything. Like, none of that's mentioned. So that is starting to happen as well, where the trans side of the story is not even being reported. Oh, why am I not seeing that here, G Mike? There we go. A lot of girls have names in a way, so you can't, stalk them. Yes. Yes, of course. But that's just how porn is. Like, in porn, they don't use their real names. In fact, in local news, a lot of those news anchors that you know them by, like, that's not their real fucking name. Even on-air personalities in journalism give fake names out. Like, it's for their own protection. So I get it. So they won't stalk them. Provide, like, easy way to... Yeah, you're right. You're right. So that's definitely a thing. I think sometimes that can be a little difficult, though, because we're in an era of the activist sex worker, and while that has always been a thing, it's really a little bit more pronounced now. So, like, it's crazy where I'm like, oh, okay, I'll see the list of people speaking, asked to speak at a convention, or they're speaking on a panel, like whatever, and then it's like, oh dang, that's old girl from whatever. Like, oh, that's her real name, okay. So like these worlds are starting to collide, and it's starting to be a little bit harder for them to like hide or kind of hide their real name. So, Lord, but yeah. Well, I've been sitting on here yakking and yakking for almost 2 hours, y'all. Great conversation, fellas. Please, everybody, come back. Next time I do this, I will advertise it again on IG, on the Facebook page. I can't exactly advertise it on YouTube. I wish I could, but I don't think I can. So, anywho, I will catch all of y'all later. Deuces. Hope y'all enjoyed this real motherfucking talk tonight.